Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third International Innovation Forum, ThinkTech. ThinkTech focuses entirely on technology as the field of the future. Today's guest speakers are representative of the most important companies operating in Albania and abroad. And now, please welcome our forum moderator, the successful entrepreneur and woman empowerment activist, Ms. Rafaela.
Hello, and welcome to ThinkTech Albania 2021. Guys, I think we're not only gonna think tech, I think we're feeling tech today. A big round of applause for Landmark Communication and Technology for making us feel like rock stars with this amazing stage, and also an applause for our great panelists that are moderating today. Arion, welcome. Who would have thought that 20 years ago, I was not holding a tablet in my hands, I was holding a beeper. For most of you, you don't even know what is beeper. When I was starting the business, I was searching in Tirana for finding a place to access internet. And there was just one office offering internet service. Now, in 2021, I'm standing here moderating this amazing conference, one of a kind, who is talking about technology and innovation. We are living in an area of technology and innovation, and how technology has tremendously changed our lives. It has changed completely our way of thinking. It has changed completely our behaviors, our point of views. And who would have thought that in such a short time, we would be talking about technology, innovation, augmented reality, VR, design thinking, machine learning, all these terms that I'm 100% sure that for most of you are quite common, but for a generation, like my generation, that is just 20 years ago, 2 decades, we are now feeling this tremendous change. And guys, think, where are we going to be in 20 years from now? So, is this the time to embrace technology? I think we already did. And I'm 100% sure that most of you are doing it in daily basis. Now you might ask, why I'm here to moderate? I am the founder of a different PR marketing company. And everyone was asking me, are you going to moderate at your competitors? I said, me, and not only me, but also the founder and the CEO of Landmark, but also my friend Odeta, have never seen each other as competitors, always as partners. And this has been not now, but always throughout these years, the best showcase of companies cooperating with each other and not seeing each other as enemies or as competitors. Now, another reason why I'm here is that I share the same vision as the leader, the one who founded ThinkTech, the one who made things happen in Albania, the person with a different vision, the founder of Landmark Communications and Technology, the founder and co-founder also of Moveo Albanian Technology. Guys, I have the pleasure to give the floor to Mr. Erioni Sufaj on stage.
Thank you, Rafi. I go old school with the microphone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming. First of all, I want to thank a few people here. I want to thank first our staff, Landmark, for doing an amazing job, for believing in this. We did it, guys. But it ain't over till it's over, so we wait till everybody goes home, and then we post the nice pictures. I want to thank 2 words about ThinkTech, and then I'll restart thanking people. We thought of creating ThinkTech as a forum or conference or a place where the young generation, not only the young generation, but all professionals working in Albania can see and feel that the Albania, Tirana, and Albania is a place where you can grow, where you can find a great opportunity to work if you are hardworking, if you have the will to work. And I think we started this to show people that, guys, the basic idea is we don't want everybody to leave. Tirana has a lot to offer. And the companies that are here present, Ralitza from One Telecommunications, our distinguished guest Mario Martinelli from Sizzle, which is it's a great pleasure to have him here. He's one of the brightest minds in Italy when it comes to technology. So I think he's going to be a great... he doesn't do a lot of speeches, but thank you very much, Mario. I really appreciate it. Laurent from Philip Morris. He would say, what has Philip Morris to do with technology? Well, I think he will clear that for us. So we thank One Telecommunications, Sizzle, and Philip Morris for believing in us last year as our partners, and still making possible together with us to do this year again. We have a few newcomers for the second session. Deloitte, Holberton School of Technology, and ProCredit Bank. So after the first session, there'll be a short coffee break. Don't leave. We can have a coffee or a refreshment and come back. Yeah. Well, today I have to, fortunately and unfortunately, have to speak also for Carlo Sarugeri, who is my partner for Movo. He's the managing director of Movo Italy. Unfortunately, he cannot be here because of some personal issues, so I have to bear his big, his weight upon me, which is not easy, but I'll try to do my best. I will not do a long presentation. I'll try to be brief and concise. Yeah. So, opportunities in Albania. I will talk about more generic, then go in depth about technology. According to us, what we see as opportunities in Albania, we see a great future and opportunities in growth in this industry. We see, according to us, a visible and clear path, clear career path, where people can start. We have many examples. They can start even as interns, and they can make their way up to executive positions. Working, thanks to our partners, now we're working with the latest international standards, and we try to implement them daily. And I think so far we have been successful. We believe in diversity, girls' power. We always had. Actually, before all these things became too big for it, you must do diversity. Actually, in our executive positions, we only have one guy besides me. I'm not going to say his name. All the rest are girls. Yeah. The second slide is how the industry has changed the work environment in Albania. For us, it's very important to invest in our employees. When I mean invest in not only invest in money, but invest in time, invest in trainings for all the staff, soft skills and hard skills. Nowadays, they use soft skills to say they're human skills, which is true. So people, first of all, should communicate with each other. Yeah, internal communication is a very important tool, especially if you work in a big company, because you would find it strange, but according to many surveys we've done, many people do not know exactly what they work in a company and they don't know exactly what the company does. So it sounds strange, but it is a fact. The informal, I'm a big fan of informal get-togethers. Also the cliches, coffee in the morning, lunches together, other get-together like cultural. Maybe now going to a movie theater with COVID is not a great idea after all, but maybe some other sport activities yeah. How the industry changed? Mm, yeah, the last, but that which is not the least, I put it as the mixed hybrid working from office and from home. 3 or 4 years ago, to tell to also to me, being a manager of a company, that somebody was going to work from home, it was yeah, unthinkable, to tell the truth. But anyway, thanks, yeah, to COVID and to the industry, we are now very open, and I believe also that they sort of, they call it nowadays mixed hybrid form of working is the right one. To me, if it works for other people, fine. I still find working in the office the best way, but maybe we're getting older, and the people who are getting younger, they like other things. So, yeah, future. First, invest in your staff. This is, I urge to everyone. We do it a lot. We keep doing it. I'm not gonna we're not gonna go political, but more attention from the right institutions for this industry, local, national, international. We do this kind of events, and it's a big effort for us. It's a big effort for our partners to help us, to sponsor it, to make it happen. And it's everything on the private sector. So I'm not saying that nobody's helping us, but it could be nice for a big help. There is a huge growth opportunity for young Albanians in this industry, and Albania could become very well a regional hub. And I'd like very much to see it as an ICT hub in the region. And for this, we have to be more competitive than our neighbors. We have to be better than them. Not cheaper, because the word cheaper, sorry for my English, it's a bad word. But more efficient, maybe is the right term. And yeah, much more ICT students. To me, it's a must, so it must be admitted. And that's why we have the guys from Holberton speaking during the second session. The importance for all of us, and I think also for our companies, Landmark, Move, also for Sizzle, to find the right, but not only for us. Nowadays, everybody is looking for developers. So developers now are needed anywhere, everywhere. Yeah, since I'm a marketing kind of guy, I will profit from the occasion. We will try to do next year a week of, what we call it? International Innovation Week of Tirana. So it'd be a few days, maybe 3, maybe 4. We'll need the help of our friends again. You don't have to say yes now, but just a small confirmation, maybe yes, it will be very much needed. Maybe somewhere in the spring. So yeah, would like to turn this tradition of ThinkTech, and hopefully other players will do likewise forums or conferences, because it helps a lot the market. And in the end, it makes the environment in Tirana a welcoming for young professionals to stay here and work here. So this was my message, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope you have a great time. Thank you.
Okay, it's okay. Thank you very much, Ariane. I've said it in person, but I'm also reinforcing it here that being an agile leader in our days is not easy, and there are not many in Albanian. And it's absolutely amazing how you're working. It's amazing how you have built the team. And I really give you my compliments also for the work, for the balance homework, and also for having in your team 70% of women. And talking about women, and as many of you know, I'm for years now trying to empower as many women as possible in business, but not only in business. We want more women to represent for an equal society, us not only in business but also in politics. And I have the pleasure today to invite a very special woman, a woman who made a career in politics. She has been a member of parliament in Bulgaria, and today she's in the position of the head. There was a chairman written there, but I said it should not make sense. You're not a chairman of the board of directors of One Telecommunication, a chairwoman, Ms. Ralița Guri, and I would like her to give us a few words about her experience as a member of parliament back then, and now to explain us what is it now to be a board member in one of the biggest telecommunication companies in Albania, such as One Communication. As I was saying earlier, there were beepers, and beepers were just, you could write messages, but nothing else. And now we're all having smartphones, and we have 5G. Yeah? So I would also like to ask Mrs. Ralița, how is she dealing with the network and safe and clean network while navigating through internet? Because as we know, internet is the universe, but are we safe to surf on internet freely? I would like to hear your thoughts. The stage is yours.
It doesn't work? Oh, it works. Okay. So thank you, Rafaela. Nice to meet you all. Thank you, Ariane. I would like to start with something that Rafaela mentioned, how she remembers the time when there was no internet. And I would like to remind something much sooner in time when, so I'm the chair of the board of directors of One Telecommunications, and most probably you have heard that my husband and I are also majority shareholders in the company. So when we first came 2 years ago, one of the first things that I was checking, how much data people use. And I was checking, and I thought that the data that we are receiving from the data analytics is not correct, because at that time people were using something like small megabytes, like 200 megabytes per month. 1,000 megabytes per month would already be a minority. There were several people using 13 giga per month. And it sounds, nowadays, it sounds almost ridiculous, but they were like our most esteemed few customers using the 13 giga they had per month. So what changed really is technology and the ability to offer more for the same amount of money, or an equal amount of money almost, entirely due to the improvement of technology and the expansion of the network. So I will talk about that a little bit more, but just to go back to the question on myself, which I feel really awkward to talk about. But yes, I was a member of parliament. I started my career as a financial analyst. And getting involved in politics was not something that I planned ever in my life, but changes started to happen, and I got involved. So I got elected in the parliament when I was 24 years old, very young. I still hold the title youngest member of the parliament. So how do you compensate for being 24 years old? I mean, most people go to discos at this age. And being a woman at the same time, it makes it even more difficult, I have to admit. So it means you have to work a lot more. And I was active. I proposed actually over 80 pieces of legislation myself, several entirely new laws, 2 entirely new codes, which are laws together, put together. And they got adopted. And one of them was actually, which I drafted, I introduced for discussion to the parliament. The parliament finished its work, it couldn't be adopted. So the next government, which was not related to my party, the next government took the entire law and adopted it. So I was really, really happy. They never mentioned me, of course, but yes, but that's life. Thank you. So what you have to do all your life is what you do at the company, have a good product. So this is what we want to do at One and what we've been trying to do. The first, what is our product? It's actually the product is the network. Then come what you buy. But yes, thank you. So the product is the network. How you connect people, how safe it is, how well it works, how much data you can allow to people to use. And this was a big decision for us, a huge investment, a really big investment, 100 million euros worth of investment. But it is worth, not because of also what you earn from it, but also because of what you are able to provide. And this is, in first place, ability for people to use more, and then more security, which I'm going to talk about. And then we go to the products, and I'm not going to advertise the products themselves, but how they're built. So first thing is people to be able to use more. So now bundles with 20 giga are something common, and people really use them. Now we have rate plans that are unlimited at all. They don't have a big limit, like really a very big limit. They don't have a limit at all. This is possible because of the network, so that a lot of people can use it at the same time. But another part of the product, and by the way, the swapping network doesn't come plug and play. It employs a lot of technology, local technology, a lot of people, engineers locally working together to make sure that actually the network continues to work while you change it, which is quite an issue, but fortunately it's done. So when we go back to products, after what was not plug and play, but a lot of play and then plug, then we go to new products. And new products for us are also very high technology, just because we have developed very good data analytics. We started developing data analytics with machine learning technologies almost from the start. It takes a lot. And it is a challenge because this is something new for everybody, so you have to find people in the market that are ready to learn and develop with you. And thanks to that, nowadays we have personalized products for all our customers. So everyone gets their own offer. And I don't know how many of you are our customers. I hope you like it. But I'm happy to see that 90% buy from what we offer. And finally, nice shops. I hope you like them. This is also a part of the experience. And the team. This is probably the most important part. Young, enthusiastic, and very dedicated team. 60% women. And young. Yes, so I'm going to skip some, probably I have to. So how was life before mobile networks? Some of us remember, I do. It was very slow, but everything was secure. It is what you see. With networks, life is very much faster. You don't wait for a letter, really, to go to travel for weeks or months in order to get your offer. It is immediate. It happens immediately. You click on an app, you buy something, you talk to everyone in the world, you have your photos, you have your very personal data transmitted, your voice transmitted, not only when you speak on the phone, but when you just have a phone with a Siri, Alexa, or whatever you have this at home. Your fridge is transmitting data. Your car certainly is transmitting data. Cars are built to transmit data, and from now on we hear that they're going to block us if we don't use properly. So this is a lot of risks, really a lot of risks. And really a lot could happen if the networks are not secured. I can just give you an example. I learned from our team today that last year we blocked 16,000 cybersecurity threats, 16,000 through the technologies that we have. So imagine if networks, not imagine, we have to think how dangerous it could be and how dependent and reliable we are on the security of networks. So a few words at last about Clean Path. This is an initiative of the United States State Department, and we were very, very happy and proud that One Telecommunications became one of the few first companies listed in that initiative under with a great group of other companies, big international companies. So relatively small company in Albania being listed among the biggest in the world is really a great honor. So this initiative is about clean networks. Everything in One Telecommunications network is clean, from verified suppliers, from coming from countries with democracy. So everything is Ericsson that we use. And we believe this is, it costs more, of course, to have such a network, but we believe that this investment is really necessary for us and for Albania in order to guarantee that the security is at the highest level, which we believe should be as in the future. So, thank you very much.
One, two. Thank you very much, Ms. Ralica. Very great insights. Now we are going to talk about how easy it is to go global. Is it easy to go global? And if you do so, what would be some of the steps that either for companies or for individuals they would follow to be able to work in an international market? So now I have the pleasure to give the floor till the microphone is fixed to Mr. Mario Martinelli, CIO of Sizzle Italia. And I take the chance here, till we get the microphone fixed, to go back again to Landmark and mention that why do you have to go to Europe when you have Albania to actually think global and act local? So, Mr. Martinelli, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot. First of all, I want to thank Arion for the invitation in a so exciting event. I'm very pleased to be here and honored to be here. I want to focus my speech just telling you how Albania is important in our ICT organizational goal, and with our organizational goals also for Sizzle Group for reaching its strategic objectives. So first of all, I want just to tell you something about Sizzle Group. Sizzle has a long story of success. It was founded in 1946 by 3 sport journalists that has this great idea to build this company, to rebuild the sport venues after the Second World War destruction. Today, Sizzle Group is one of the biggest gaming operators in Italy, and also in the lottery market we have a dimension globally, and we are in first position in the worldwide ranking for lottery industry. We have the highest, just the previous, we have the highest brand awareness in the market, and a full spectrum of products. So we have lottery, betting, and casino games, both online and retail, and a complete tech platforms portfolio that we build in our software factories. Just key figures to describe you Sizzle. We have revenues of plus than 600 millions. We are more or less 2,300 people. We have a very wide retail network with more than 50,000 points of sales in the countries in which we operate. 2,000 branded shops, so shops in which we can buy gaming and branded by Sizzle, and a very wide customer base. Plus than 1.3 million of B2C customers and more than 10 millions of customers that go in our point of sales. Okay, our vision is to be a primary player in the international gaming industry, recognized as a leader in responsible gaming. It's very important for our strategy, challenging and continuous digital innovation. To build this vision, we have 4 strategic pillars. The first is mobile, for sure. We want to bring gambling into a new mobile experience. Please come back to the previous one, please. Okay. By leveraging also technology, for sure, we are approaching native apps for development, the 5G technology for telecommunication, and also virtual and augmented reality, as we will see afterwards in the presentation. The second one is social, transforming the Sizzle customer base into a real community where you can share experiences, suggestions, and also results. The third is digital. We aim to evolve our products, both online and retail, leveraging on new technologies, specifically just creating a new digital omni-channel and paperless experience. And last but not least, sustainability. We have a target to reach in the next future 0 problematic players as a main objective, just directing them towards a responsible way of gaming. For this task, we are piloting also technologies, so we are using technology. For example, artificial intelligence, to build an experience that it could be can really avoid problematic attitudes of the customers. Okay, the video, please. Okay, just a few words about our international footprint. We have a recent but very exciting international experience. The first experience has been in Morocco in January 2018. We launched a new concession, so a very exciting and challenging project because it was the first one for Sizzle organization in a foreign country. Spain followed the following year in July 2019 with a concession based on online channel. Then Turkey, a very big project, a very big nation and opportunity for us because it's, if you think to the Turkey population, it's a very big opportunity. We launched it in August 2019, and it's a lottery and virtual races concession. Then we also for sure participated to the lottery concession in Italy. We win this kind of concession for the first times, and now we are launching the new technology and the new concession in Italy. We have also very challenging targets. UK, it's a new tender in which we are participating now. It's a very big concession, the first in the world in terms of lottery, and so we have the fingers just to win also this concession. The other are Malta, it's a little country, but for sure an interesting opportunity, and Germany also for the online business. Thanks. Just going through technology. Okay, technology for sure for Sizzle is very, very important. It's fundamental, it's critical, it's the key enabling factor of our business. Everything runs on technology for Sizzle. Everything is transaction for us. So just few key numbers to give you an idea. We have more than 1.5 million login per day. More than 500,000 active users per month on our online channel. More than 60 apps and websites running every day. So a very big challenge to run this kind of wide technology environment. And to manage this environment, we need a very strong organization. We have an in-house software factory with more than 500 people directly involved in software development. We have internally the competence center to operate IT operations, so infrastructure, networking, and so on, for all the countries. We have a digital innovation factory. It's fundamental for us to develop everything related to the online channels with more than 250 people. We are focused for sure, on cybersecurity with a competence center dedicated to this matter, and research and development teams focus directly on scouting new ideas, new solutions, for networking with universities, with other interesting entities, and piloting new solutions. Okay, going through our technology strategy, it's based on 5 main pillars. I already mentioned you the in-house core platform development. So our strategic vision is to develop in-house all the technology, to be always at the state of the art in terms of technology. So following the evolution of the technology market, always be up to date in this kind of task. Best security standard for sure, leveraging on strategic partnership, just to bring inside ideas, innovation, technology from the OTT, and digital innovation, as I mentioned before. So, to implement these strategic pillars, we launched a very big organizational program 2 years ago with 4 objectives. Internalization of the core technological competencies, so to have skill and know-how inside the company to capitalize these skills, to increase the overall software development capacity, so the increase of the requirements from business, from new countries, new concession, for sure needs a new organization, new capacity for Sizzle ICT team. Innovation teams dedicated to research and development, so not only the factory is involved in innovation, but the focus is to have specific teams only dedicated to research and development. And for sure, cost rationalization, so to enabling growth in a sustainable way, for sure. We have reached very exciting result in this program in 2 years. We doubled the capacity in Italy. We have built a nearshore IT hub here in Tirana, and we will see how we build it. We work a lot on best talent attraction, just also with brand awareness, with communication, just making Sizzle known outside Italy, and so also abroad. A continuous training. So we think that the skills need to be cultivated with training, continuous training, to be absolutely, constantly up to date. So, speaking about the IT, Tirana, our ICT delivery hub here in Tirana. It's a very brief story, but a very successful story, I can say. We launched it in January 2020. We launched the project, so we decided to establish here, after a long selection among the countries in East Europe and so on, we decided to establish this hub here because we think that all the index that we analyzed highlighted that Albania is absolutely the most preferable country for us to establish this delivery hub. Thank you. In August 2021, we were more or less 120, just increasing our resources month by month, with a target to reach at the end of next year 250 people. So a very big number, a big effort here in Albania. So a very exciting process, as I said, and I can say that all the achievements that we had at the beginning of the project, we have the confirmation that we can reach the objectives. For sure, the ecosystem that we have found here in Albania was rich of talents, rich of technological skills that we need. We also have defined a model of delivering very effective, just connecting the Italian factory with the Tirana hubs in a very effective way. We reached for sure a cost rationalization because we have reduced the time and material resources both by our vendors in Italy, just substituting with internal resources in Tirana, capitalizing the know-how, so a double positive effect. And last but not least, we increased our development capacity. So we doubled in 2 years the development capacity. What are the challenges? For sure, an high turnover. We know that there is a strong attraction from northern countries to the Albanian talents, and so we are fighting this kind of turnover, just offering our people, I think, a very good environment for working, the possibility to build the skills, the technological skills, to learn about the technology, about our business. So we are trying to fight this kind of turnover with this positive environment for working, but it's very tough. The second challenge is to create a link with a tech university within Albania. We are starting to work and we want to work with the university here in Albania. Also trying to launch a Sizzle Academy, also to have young people on board with us as soon as possible after their university career. After the success of the ICT hub, we decided at Sizzle to transfer also some operational processes from Italy to Albania. So we decided to manage the customer operations processes for supporting our customers, for technical desk, for administration and processing activities, and also for technology operations, specifically for our control room. We decided to move from these structures from Italy to Albania with the same objective, to increase quality for the customer services, also internalizing these kind of activities, higher efficiency, because moving the activities, we want to optimize the processes and to have internal skills to leverage on the know-how to reach a better services for our customer. To access to the ecosystem of skilled resources, you know that here in Albania the contact center, the desks are very strong, and so there is a very rich ecosystems to build such activities. Cost rationalization for sure, and synergies with technological team. So there is a strong connection, more than in the past, between customer operation and technical team. And for sure, this is a very great value for us. So for conclusion, we have invested energy and capital here in Albania. The project is still ongoing for sure, but the result for sure are a very strong incentive for us to continue to invest in this beautiful country. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Mario. This was absolutely, we heard a lot about Sizzle Italia, but Sizzle is around the world, and most importantly, it is in Albania. And we're very happy to hear that you're putting a major stone and you're finding this human capital, that my heart was full when I was hearing that you found very good people working for it. And in order for the ecosystem puzzle to become a clear vision, we need definitely a cooperation of business, of universities, of private sector, of human capital, and of course also of the government, hopefully. Thank you very much. And now let me stand because I have a great pleasure to introduce you now to an Albanian guy who is the general manager of Philip Morris. You might wonder, has ever anyone been Albanian that has run this position? So Laurent, would you share with us some more for the company, for you? And also, please do share with us, what's the secret that you're keeping 60% balance of women and 40% men? I'm still going back to this gender equality.
Well, I'll stand if you
Yes.
if you agree with that. I don't know. Can you hear me? Yes. First, I'll take that question from Rafa. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. In Albania, it's possible everything. We should understand we come from a very dark history. I mean, for many years, we haven't had any investment in human capital. But there are companies, and we saw some examples today here, that they are investing in people. I am one of those people who took me from the street with very little education, no technology, nothing else, standing in between me and my career. But I had a dream. I followed it. I was also persistent and really investing also in myself. I stayed in Albania, and it's possible. One day you can become general manager of any company. Women, it's a different question, which I would like to address. You are becoming a huge power, and I think that says it all. Thank you for inviting Arion. Thank you, Landmark, for this amazing tech conference. Albania needs more of this. I saw you have big plans, and the Innovation Week coming in spring. I'm not confirming yet. I'll come there. But I was told that the average age of this audience today is around 25 years old, which coincides with the age when I started working for the tobacco industry. I must say I was very lucky, because it was a time that our industry was getting winds of change and transforming into something that nobody would ever think it was possible. Actually, all industries have changed since then. The last decade has been a huge change, and we have seen here, we were talking about internet and about beepers and things which probably you have never seen in your life, but it was possible to have all this kind of change. During my presentation, which will last about 10 minutes, I'll try to answer to Arion's question, but it's not only his, what tobacco and technology have to do and what they have in common. So I'll try to answer to that question, and allow me to kick it off this presentation with a question. What would you do if you would have 930 scientists at your disposal and tackle an issue which is ages ago, was created decades ago? While you think about that and the issues you want to tackle, I would like and allow me to share what Philip Morris did for a problem which was created centuries ago, smoking. We created Philip Morris Science. Philip Morris Science is a structure within Philip Morris International, which hired in waves and through the years over 900 scientists to tackle one issue, to reduce as much as possible the harm which was coming from the tobacco products and the smoke. It wasn't easy to negotiate with those scientists. Nobody would like to work for a tobacco company, especially in the West. That's a very, very big thing. But they accept it. But they accept it under one condition, that they would never, ever work for traditional tobacco products, or cigarettes as we know them, but for products which would be able to reach two objectives. One, to replace those old traditional cigarettes, and at the same time reduce heavily, up to 95%, the risks coming from the tobacco smoke. And here it starts. This is our research and development center, created in Neuchâtel, Switzerland. It was built from scratch to host all those scientists, those bright minds. It has a shape of a cube and is fully transparent, in glass. We have a message to tell to the world. As a tobacco company, we have always been stigmatized, but this message is that we are fully transparent. This research and development center is fully open for anybody to visit. And actually, hundreds of scientists have been coming there, looking into our technology, into our science, into our labs, and actually all of you can visit it. In pmiscience.com, there is a virtual tour that any one of you can take and see with your own eyes what's going on in that research and development center. Myself, when I visited for the first time, I was attracted by a particular element. There were 3 different spaces in that research development center, and they were all named after the elements of matter: air, water, earth. There was one missing, and it was fire. I was curious, asking, what's this? Why you don't use fire? Because fire is so closely connected with the traditional way of consuming nicotine by burning it, that they didn't allow any space to be named after the fire. So I guess there are no excuses for us with all these resources, with over $8 billion already invested in this technology and science and scientists and all what I was talking about, for us not to be able to create a product which can match both objectives: replace the cigarettes and reduce the harm. And it wouldn't be fair for us, once develop that product, why not go there and tell the world that there are better solutions than continue smoking? And here you can see a chart which shows the footprint of Philip Morris International. It talks about number of people, direct employees. It talks about manufacturing facilities, consumers, but I've put it there for a different reason. Philip Morris International has a huge role to play in transforming not only its products, not only itself, but the whole industry. So this was the reason why I've put it there, and I hope by now you understand and you have your questions in mind popping up that what's the problem with the tobacco? Why people cannot stop smoking? Why they are so hooked in it? How can we solve it? The answer comes from Professor Michael Russell. He said in one of his research papers, people smoke tobacco for the nicotine, but they die from the tar. And he continued that all smoking-related deaths are not the problem of the nicotine, but the delivery mechanism. Bear with me. Guess what? What is the delivery mechanism that we know today? Burning. We are burning the cigarette to get the nicotine out of the tobacco leaf. So burning was the issue, burning is the issue. And it was so clear for our researchers and scientists that they had to change just this delivery mechanism in order to reduce toxicants very, very low compared to continued smoking, of course. And they did a lot of prototypes, and you see here 30 years of innovation. They tried, they failed, they tried again, they continued, they never gave up. We were still investing in that because we had a dream, and we are proud to say today that we have products which can replace the cigarettes and reduce harm at the same time. And I hope by now it's clear what our vision is. Our vision is smoke-free vision, which in essence means a world without cigarettes. That's what we are working for, that's our direction where we're going. Because there are millions of women and men out there who every day chooses tobacco products, and they must know that there are better alternatives than continued smoking. In the world we live, imagination is the only limitation we have. With the science and technology available today, any question should be answered. None of them should go unanswered. In my organization, 50% or more are under the age of 30, and they have chosen to stay in Albania and come every day motivated in the office, trying to demystify science and technology and make it into small, chewable information pieces for every consumer to know what are their alternatives. And allow me to close this speech with a very short message. With the science and technology today, any idea can change lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying it. Are you? Now I think it's time for a short break. I would like to thank very much the panelists for their great insights and sharing their experience with us. We'll come back with the same energy, but with different panelists. So see you in 20 minutes. I'll wait for you here. So here we are back again. Now I have the pleasure to welcome the second panelist on stage. Welcome, Davide, benvenuto. We were talking today about many topics. We were talking about technology, innovation, entrepreneurship. How important is entrepreneurship, not only for a personal career, but also for enterprise, for being that a corporate or an SME or a small business. It is crucial in our days to innovate. And if you have innovation, if you have the right people, and if you have the right technology, wonderful things can happen within a company. Now, we're going to talk about the innovation as a key success factors in a big corporate. We were earlier listening to Mario, his great presentation, by the way, compliments, talking about Sizzle, and I heard about from many invitees today that they were quite impressed by the company and also by the company and what the company is doing in Albania. Now, what's behind this corporate and what is it happening with technology and innovation in there? I have the pleasure to invite now on stage Mr. Davide Filisola, the Chief Digital Officer of Sizzle Italia, to show more about what it takes, like vision, or just simply dare and do changes within a company. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Rafaela. This is just the right question. What is innovation? It is a difficult question. Do we have some minutes to?
We have some minutes. I know you're for the first time in Albania, by the way. We welcome you
It's the
and
first
hope you're
time.
going to enjoy
It's
it.
the first time. I'm pretty green here in Albania. It's the first time. Sorry. I think that it is pretty nice here. I like the center.
You will love
of
it.
Albania.
I'm afraid you'll try to change the place with Mario, so you would exchange the positions.
I like
Just
also
kidding.
the food here. It's not like the food in Italy, but you are almost at the same level.
We will talk about this after the dinner that Landmark is offering us tonight. So let's see that after that.
Okay.
The stage is yours. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Davide Filizzola, and I am a Chief Digital Officer at Sizzle. I would like to start my presentation with this question. What is innovation in a big company? I think that this is a very tough question, and we faced this challenge with Mr. Martinelli some months ago when we were designing the innovation process in Sizzle. And I think that it is a good way to start this designing, starting from the definition of innovation in a big company. In this slide is with the first point, I try to give you my best answer to this tough question. And I can say that innovation is the company ability to turn ideas into value. So here we have two concepts. The first one is the concept of idea. And idea is something which is related to creativity. And creativity is a value that we want to feed, that in every company we have to feed. But we are not speaking only about creativity. I am not speaking about people closed which are closed in a room, try to think, try to have a strange idea. But I am thinking about value, and value for the business of the company, but also value for all the stakeholders, for the customers, for the employees, or for the investors. Innovation is an act of rebellion against an existing situation, but which is successful. And this is the most important ingredient that we have to consider when we speak about innovation. So we need a systematic process in the company to create innovation. And I'm going to speak you about this process. Here in this slide, you can see three kinds of innovation that we can have in a company. Let's start from incremental innovation. Incremental innovation is the innovation that we have every day in the company. It is a gradual change and a smooth progress that we have every week continuously inside the company. Then there is the midterm innovation, in which we use new technology in order to change the company business. And I think that here there is a mistake in this slide. It's my mistake, sorry. Is not to change, but to increase the company business. Then, finally, there is the long-term innovation. And when here we are dealing with something disruptive, both for a business and a technological point of view. And when we deal with this kind of innovation, we have to think that we can fail, or I can say that we must fail, we have to fail. On 10 innovation projects, 9 of them are going to fail. We have to be prepared to this failure. In the remaining part of my presentation, I would like to be very pragmatic with you and give you an example of each of these kind of innovation speaking about something that we are doing in Sizzle. Let's start with incremental innovation. Here you can see in the left part of this slide the version history of the mobile application of Facebook. If you go on the Apple Store or on the Google Play Store, you can notice that Facebook is updating its application twice a week. This is remarkable because they are able to do two new releases of their mobile application each week. And in Sizzle, we are doing the same in some way. If you consider the Sizzle.it, sorry, the Sizzle.it web front end, we are doing a new release once a week. And if you consider the mobile applications of Sizzle Italia, we do another release each week. So we are doing two releases each week. And I am very proud to be in a company that is able to do this. And because I want to underline that this gives big advantages for the company, both from the customer's point of view and for the technical point of view. From the customer's point of view, we can say that each release is going to introduce few new features. So in this way, the customer is not upset by big changes. In the digital world, big changes can upset the customer, can create confusion to him. So we have to introduce few features every time, but continuously. So in some months, our product will be very different, but not in a very continuous way. Instead, if you do big changes, the customer is confused, is upset, is not upsetting this way. Instead, from a technical point of view, if in any release you are able to introduce few new features, it is easy to test them, because if something goes wrong, you can pinpoint where is the feature with the problem. Instead, if you have a lot of features, it's very difficult to test them, because you cannot understand where is the problem. And to obtain this process, you have to introduce the right process. And in Sizzle, we was able to introduce this process. We are doing all of our digital projects in agile, involving all the production chain, from the development to the test phase to the deploy. Now let's move to an example of mid-term innovation, the second bullet in the previous slide. Here I'm going to tell you about the prevention of problematic gambling using artificial intelligence. I like a lot this use case, because it joins our value of innovation with our purpose, the purpose to be sustainable. With this case, we are in some way joining this value with this purpose. We have implemented a data platform which collects data coming from other systems, like, for example, CRM system, transactional system, survey, etc. And we use this data to understand which customers can have some problem related some problems related to the game. There is a problem that is called ludopathy that some customers can have, and we want to prevent this problem for our customer. With artificial intelligence, we are able to pinpoint users that can have this problem in the future, and we can in some way act to avoid this problem. For instance, for this customer, we send them some email explaining in which way they can limit their game, or we can do negative targeting. That is, we don't send them promotion or incentive to play.
Thank you very much, Davide. You see what happens at ThinkTech Albania? You're a winner. Thanks a lot. Now we are going to switch from IT sector to banking sector. Most of us have seen the facilities that all bank sector is implementing in Albania, and we are now doing a lot of transactions through our mobile devices from our offices. There is no need to queue in the bank. But this is just one of the services that the digital banking system is offering. There are many other services that I have the pleasure today to invite a talented girl, Mrs. Belma Lushi, who is the Deputy Head of Private Client and Banking Service, Department of ProCredit Bank. I had to read this. I'm also happy to see a woman in STEM profile, because there are not many, and also in banking industry, and ProCredit always was a bank that was ruled by women. So the floor is yours. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah. Thank you very much, ThinkTech and Arion, for inviting us. It's a great pleasure to be here today and to talk about money. No, not at all. About how to keep money safe through digital channels. Actually, we have here in this slide that a digital bank in a traditional banking environment, digitalization actually in the world have been challenging for so many years now, the way and the traditional way of doing business. And we see that a lot of companies and sectors are trying to be innovative in order to be competitive. And the same is also with the banking sector. But we will talk today about the banking system in Albania, which currently we have 12 banks, but unfortunately, most of them are traditional banks. What do I mean by traditional banks? A traditional bank has a lot of branches, a lot of outlets, a lot of staff who deal with cash, who count cash, who do transactions, and who are very operational. And we see, and Rafaela said that we queue to the bank. Of course we queue to the bank, because we have two staff members who are dealing with a lot of clients that they want to do transaction in the bank. And they have to wait. And also, even the bank staff, they have to think about how to fast process the transaction rather than to keep in mind and to think about how to deliver the best solution to that client, how to discuss, how to understand their needs. And that's why digital banks are way more convenient than traditional banks, because with technology, it is possible that all these transactions being done through digital channels. So if you want to deposit money, you deposit money in an ATM. If you want to withdraw money, if you want to do transfers, if you want to pay something, you pay by card, and everything it's doing through digital channels. And then why do you need your bank staff? Of course you need a bank staff. You need the bank staff when it comes to financial advice. You need the bank staff to choose the best solution and to keep and to think and to discuss about where to invest some money and how to take a loan and which is the best service that you can get from the bank. Now we will talk about ProCredit, and just to give you a short interview of who we are, We are part of an international group with our headquarters in Germany, and geographically, we are located in Southeastern and Eastern Europe. And also we have presence of a bank in Germany. Our business focus is to SME, to loans, and we give loans to SME, small and medium-sized enterprises, because we believe that these businesses are the backbone of the economy. And also, in the aggregate, they are the biggest employer in the country. That's why we push forward and we try to help these businesses and to work with them and also to develop them in order to invest also in our country and to be a better future for our kids and for us as well. We work also with private clients who wants to save with us, but also who wants to do transaction digitally or through electronic channels. Our digital approach, it's not something that started, as many say, after the pandemic situation or before. It has always been throughout our history. If you see, we started in 1995, and by 2004, we were the first bank who implemented the debit card. We might laugh today thinking about the debit card because it's such a common service that we see everywhere. But back then, it was quite unique. And I remember myself when I started to work actually in the bank, and when I first received my bank card, I have different feelings. It was very modern, and I felt cool. But on the other hand, I was afraid that how can my money be in a plastic? And today we talk about a very different thing. We talk today about the bank on your phone. But in 2004, it was really a revolution, I can say, in digitalization. We came in 2009 with the first e-banking. We gave now the opportunity to our clients to do transaction from their home, from their office, whenever they want, in order to fill up the form, and instead of filling up the form and going to the bank and queuing and trying to find a parking space. In 2015, we were first in Albania with the self-service zones, and we gave now the opportunity to clients to self-service themselves, to do by themselves the transaction, to go in some certain areas which are integrated to the branches that we had, and they can self-service themselves and they can do all transactions in machines. And they don't have to see the bank staff, because these services are so easy to use and so easy to perform that you really don't need to queue and you really don't need to see a physical person. We understood that we had ATMs for receiving money or withdrawing money, but in Albania was not an ATM to deposit money. And clients sometimes need to deposit money too. That's why in 2016, for the first time, we got the license and we implemented first in cash in ATM in Albania. The next one is a nice figure. 99% of our transaction went to automated and went digitally in 2017. And 99 seems something that it's almost 100 and it sounds cool, but the most important thing is here that now our client advisors, our bank staff have time to sit and to discuss with the clients. And this is the most important thing, because sometimes we argue and sometimes we say that the bank was not transparent, the bank was, I didn't know about this. But today, in our bank at least, the clients are always good informed from our staff, because we have the opportunity to give space to our people in order to sit and to discuss with our clients. And it will continue like this, because technology is a process. It's not something that happens one time and then it stops. It always be. In 2020, we we came with new features on mobile banking, and we'll continue to do so in order to offer to our clients the best solution and to be more convenient for our clients as well. I would like to see you our 24/7 zones in which you don't see a staff. It's a client there, but no staff, and you have machines in which you can perform all transactions. So, and they are in great locations, they are very secure because they are closed, they are not in open areas, they are closed and they are good monitored with camera, and also you can get 24/7 service. So you don't need to rush after the working hour and to find an open bank, but the bank will be open always for you here. Now, I would like to continue with something that is very important, because technology needs money. And to be innovative, you need money, but you need also staff. And you need good people. And you need good, hard-working people. People with ambition. People who want to bring something new. People with ideas that they bring the innovation. And that's why we care a lot about our people in the bank. And we don't care a lot only about the staff that we have. We start caring for them since the beginning, with a very selective process of the new candidates in which we want to find people and not skills. And what do I mean by this? Because we do not categorize and put our staff or people who admire to be our staff in categories such as to define them as there are men or women, or if they are young, or if they are old, or people which are Muslims or Catholics. We just respect them and we treat them as unique personalities in which we can invest and which we can work together. And that's why we invest also not only in this recruitment process, but also in training. And if you see our training in 2020, there are 106-hour training per employee in 2020. And if we compare to 1 year before, because this year was a pandemic year in which we did this training mainly online, in 2019 when we had 146. And we'll continue because we think that sitting with people and training them, we give value also to our company, but also to our country as well. And if we'll see the training in our bank are quite specific, because as soon as we onboard new staff, there is a 6-month training program in which we onboard them. We try to understand and to explain how we work together, what we do, how we do it, and also we provide open feedback to all the candidates and to all the staff in order to progress and in order to be better in the future. After that, we have also other trainings, specific trainings, and also trainings abroad, but also locally. We have 1-year academy, which is a banker's academy, we call it, in which we prepare staff to work in an environment which is changing every day. And also we have 3 years management academy, in which we send people studying in Germany in order to be better staff for tomorrow, for us, but also for the country in which we operate. In order not to be very boring about this, I would like you to see from our staff how they feel and how they work in ProCredit. It's a very short video and I would like to show it to you.
Yes, we are real bankers. We just put extra touch in everything and also a bit of heart in what we do.
I can easily talk to the person who is in the highest hierarchy of the bank.
Believe in yourself. If you believe, you can achieve. Be yourself and enjoy it. If you want to be part of a different plan, we are ready. What you present for credit is by account, and not for fun. So join us. Be yourself, be people, be one another. And believe it, you will have a great time, a great experience, and you will enjoy it. You must enjoy it, you will like it.
So thank you very much. And
Thank you. Thank you, Belma.
I wanted to say, and join us.
We already did, but I like the motto, work hard, party harder. As I was assuring many of you earlier, but also from people who were writing me, how is it going to be? Is it going to be full of nerds in panels? I said, no, it's going to be a very diverse panel full of very young leaders. I'm repeating agile leaders because now it's time for game changers. Game changers not only in business. Now it's time for the young generation to take over and to bring Albania to where it should be. And while I was going through the names of the panel, and while I was talking to the girls of Landmark, they were saying that when you have to introduce Mr. Olindo Sheu, you have to say that he's multitasking and he's a game changer. I know Olindo from before because I know Deloitte, and I'm sure every one of you knows Deloitte. And I was impressed, quite impressed to be honest, to see that Mr. Olindo is not only the managing partner of Deloitte Albania, but is also a managing partner of Deloitte CE South. So we are having quite professional Albanians who are also leading not only in our country but also regionally. So I would like to invite on stage to talk about leadership, being such a young guy and being an amazing leader. What does it take, and how is it with Deloitte? We know Deloitte, that they are encouraging young youth generation in business, and I'm sure we would all like to hear your thoughts.
Thank you. Okay, now you can hear me. It happens all the time. Every time you actually have a technology event, technology becomes an issue. Thank you for a very nice introduction. I am very happy to be here. 12 years ago, I came back to Albania, and I was asked to go to, as a guest speaker to the Faculty of Economics in the University of Tirana to talk about Deloitte. And the first thing I asked was, please raise your hand who has heard Deloitte. This is a master's program in the business faculty. And nobody raised their hand. I was shocked. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Nobody knows Deloitte. There's something wrong. And there were only 40 people at the time at Deloitte. So I guess we had not made such a big impression. Now, in this audience, I'm sure many of you know Deloitte. But if I was to ask what Deloitte stands for, I assume most of you will say audit, assurance, financial advisory, tax consultant, and we do all that. But Deloitte is the #1 professional service firm in the world, and we have become the #1 firm in the world thanks to consulting, which has the biggest arm in technology. So, put it simple, technology has been our main driver for growth. And luckily, that trend has actually transferred also here in Albania. My name is Olin Dosheu. I am the managing partner for CE South. In simple English, it's the entire Balkans without Romania. And I have been with Deloitte since I actually graduated from college. I love the firm because it puts me through different challenges. Now, I've got nothing to do with technology, by the way. When I was about to come here, people that were actually helping me to prepare, they told me that I need to put jeans on, sneakers, and not a suit. And I did it all wrong, right? Anyway, I'll take off my jacket just to actually get a bit closer to you guys. However, one thing that I know is that technology is the present and it will be the future. And don't worry, I'm not taking off my shirt. I'm just rolling on my sleeves. My objective today is not to talk about Deloitte, is to talk about Albania. I lived in the US for 12 years. I came back. 3 years ago, I moved to Poland along with my family. I'm married with 3 beautiful daughters. And I came back 2 weeks ago, again. Now, I didn't come back here because it's nice weather and good food. Yes, that exists, of course. But I believe this is a great place full of opportunities, especially for youngsters that are starting their career now. If anybody would ask me today well, if I had a chance, I'm too old for that now, but if I had a chance to pick, I would choose technology. At Deloitte in Albania, for the next 5 years, we anticipate to actually bring a total hub of 600 people focused on the main domains in technology, including here Salesforce, SAP, front-end, back-end, data visualization. I had to memorize this, yeah? This is not my area. I'm joking, I know this much. And all of this we are all starting at par with anyone that finished university in Germany, France, Luxembourg, wherever. What do I mean by that? Somebody that finished university in Albania and has the opportunity to work on a Salesforce project for BMW is having the same experience here, sitting in Albania, as someone that just finished university in Germany and is engaged with a Salesforce project with BMW in Germany. Same exact experience. We are not going to produce BMW in Albania. That train has long gone. We are not going to become the pharmaceutical leader in Albania. That train is long gone. But in technology, we can start at equal with anyone in the world. And that's our opportunity. We don't have to jump on a plane, leave our families, work outside of our home country, just because we want to develop ourselves. And it's not about the money or anything else. Really, people that leave Albania, I strongly believe they leave because they have a higher ambition that the market in Albania does not fulfill. I'm one of them. That's why I left. But now we do have that opportunity that sitting at home, we actually can serve clients that are sophisticated, that give us a chance to actually build our capacities and build an experience that most likely will be difficult to actually build elsewhere. Now, I really want to thank Erion for inviting me here because, first of all, I do want actually to send the signal that if people think that technology companies in Albania are competing with each other, it's wrong. We are building an ecosystem, and that ecosystem is so important for the country and for each one of you here. Thank you. Because through this ecosystem, it's the promise towards the future generation here in Albania that there's a future in this country. Through this ecosystem, we put Albania on a map in terms of technology services. And we're not talking about call centers or doing the dirty work that nobody wants to actually touch somewhere. No, no. That's definitely not what we're doing. We're doing exactly the same projects that somewhere else Deloitte Germany is doing, or whatever Deloitte network is actually doing. So in other words, within the Deloitte network, whoever actually gets the work, but it doesn't matter where it's staffed from. And the same thing is happening also with the other serious technology companies in Albania. I started the discussion that I'm here to talk about Albania, and I can talk about Albania much longer, and I like to talk. But for sake of time, I will pause with one last message. I'm 42 years old. I've lived outside of Albania for more than I've actually lived in Albania. And I've missed my parents, and I've missed my friends, and I've missed the way of living that Albania offers. Today, you don't have to. And with the technology, and I know that COVID is a very unfortunate event, but let's look at the positive. It actually taught us that we can do many things remotely. We don't have to leave our country. That's my presentation. Thank you, and I'm happy to actually ask questions.
Thank you very much, Arlindo. That was a great presentation, and I have to say that we really, now I see what we mean with game changer leaders. And I have to say you are also my role model, because we're looking for this young generation to come back to Albania, or also to live in Albania and don't leave the country, because what game changer leaders are trying to do, they are trying to put down boundaries, and we are living in a global world, so trust me, nowhere is better than in your homeland. So just take that in mind. Thank you very much for sharing your presentation. And as you can see, we have covered a lot of sectors. We covered technological sector, we covered banking sector, entrepreneurship. And now, last but not least, we have to go to the education system. I have a great pleasure to invite on the floor Mr. Daniel Schröder, who is the co-founder of Holberton School Albania, to talk about technology and innovation and what vital role it plays in our life, and how important is career, and how important is the education in this process. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Rafaela, and what an honor to be here today. And actually, it's for me actually a very interesting place, because I came to Albania 29 years ago, exactly in this place, standing outside and exchanging money. I don't know who of you remembers it, but it has been that journey exactly for me too. I think a bit of that journey where I came back a couple of months ago, and we started to have conversations about what's the status of this country, where are we standing? And that's the next 15 minutes. What I'm going to talk about is my journey, what happened in the last 29 years, and why am I standing here today, and why together with 4 other co-founders actually, we significantly invest in this future of this country. But I probably couldn't have actually mentioned anything better than Arlindo actually said. I think you have a great potential to stay in this country. And 2 of my co-founders actually in the company together, they have been Albanians returning from the UK, returning from Germany, to come back actually to help you to have a future in this country. I myself have actually over the last 29 years, actually in the meantime, been capable of, or had the gift actually to live across the world. And one of my last places actually was in Silicon Valley, being there as CEO of a tech company that we acquired through Siemens. And really understanding what technology and the next level actually of software engineering means and what's the impact. By the way, at that time, having worked also a lot with Deloitte on innovation, on building smart buildings, on looking at what the next future of that looks. But I think that's the encouraging thing, I think, what I want to look at in the next couple of minutes. And what it actually at the very end means for you personally. What I want to do is, a lot of us talk about digitalization, but what's the definition of digitalization? And I would like to take something from Gartner. And Gartner, when they talk about it, what is one of the biggest, let's say, research companies in the world, when we look at definitions and things, They say about digitalization is the use of digital technologies to change a business model and provide new revenue, new value-producing opportunities. It is the process of moving to a digital business. And I truly believe, and why I'm using that definition is, right, a lot of us actually have realized we've moved to digital age. But really what digitalization means and what's the power of it actually to transform businesses, that is something new for this country. And that will happen. What we saw as great examples as ProCredit today, actually changing a business into a digital transformation, having an ability actually to redefine our businesses, that is something where we are in the midst of. Now the good thing is I think we are at a very unique state globally at this moment. Because when you look at software engineering and the digital age, I think we'll go to the next slide, then the whole world is at a breaking point. So if you look at traditional areas where we look from mechatronics to digitalization, to chips, to PLM technology, to automation, then today we look at cloud processing, right? Cloud migration, what a lot of you will talk about. Then we talk about mobile experience, what we talked a lot before, what is actually game-changing. When we look at data, the use of data, how we manage it, in combination with DevOps, with machine learning and AI, then this is a totally new world for all the traditional software engineers in the world. So actually, at the state where we are with Albania today, we are at the same state as the United States, as Germany, as China, and as Asia. We need a new and next generation of software engineers. We in this country, I truly believe, have the opportunity actually to leapfrog. And what means leapfrog for me? I bring a great example, I think, of China. When you think back in China, 700 million people never had a PC, never had a laptop. They had never done mobile payment. They have never done digital ordering. And they jumped straight from nothing to a mobile phone where they could do anything. A country that has leapfrogged, a country that has more digitalization than any other country in the world. And that was able to do that in a couple of years, in no time. And I think that's a little bit what I would like to add to the conversation we had before, how rapid this transformation can be. On the other hand side, if we really look at the status where we stand today, then we look from an educational sector, we have 90,000 students. 2% of them are in software engineering. We have 30,000 students actually currently in law and in business. We today actually have 200,000 software engineers in Albania. Our neighboring countries have 6. The top-notch countries in the world have 30 or 30 plus. So there's a great opportunity if we actually support the companies that we have before here, heard today, actually to take our own destiny in our hands. At the same time, I think, there comes a big topic in that I really love when you described it, I think, from the Deloitte way of looking at project. There's a democratization happening in digitalization. It doesn't matter anymore where you are in the world. Whether you're in California or you are in Albania, whether you're in Russia or in China, you can deliver the same quality. That means actually also equal compensation. This is the first time actually in history that you have the ability to equalize much more income levels and stay where you love with your friends in your country in this amazing place. And that is something very, very unique and a great opportunity in the future for us ahead. The second part, when I talked to a lot of young people, what was really frustrating for them to leave this country and actually saying, I don't want to be here anymore. Digitalization brings in a transparency that has never been before in this country. A transparency into systems, into traceability, into actually fighting in a natural way corruption. So those are two very important things for me, right? We're going to work on the same stuff. We democratize income, we fight corruption. But all of that, I think, as you mentioned before already, will happen together. Coming from 2 to 6 to 30 software engineers, becoming the #1 country in the Balkans, right? To change this, we all need to rise the tide together. We need to work together, right? Whether it's universities, whether it's private schools, whether it's investments, whether it's agencies, we together need to embrace this. And we have an amazing opportunity ahead of us. Now, when I was talking with my co-founders actually about this opportunity, we talked about what was our experience actually looking at traditional education and what is actually required in the market. I today work as a vice president in Siemens, and tomorrow I will be announced as a chief mobile officer of the largest division actually of Siemens in applications globally. But the major topic is actually, what kind of talents do we need going forward, right? And that was for me the key topic. How can we contribute to Albania to not wait 5 years until people graduate from a university, until we change a curriculum, until we change the legislation? And I think this government starts addressing it, and we will help them, we will support them, we will work together in an ecosystem. But that's too long. That's too long. If I would talk to Arion, what was interesting, like, Landmark exists for 10 years. Nothing happened the first 6 years. There were 30 people. If you look at the last 4 years, they've hired 1,000 people in this country. Right? Some left again. But imagine what happened in 4 years. And I've talked to many other companies that didn't exist 4 years ago and today employing 250, 300 people. Sizzle, you look at the explosion. So there's plenty of opportunities. But what we've looked at, we said, okay, now to have this equalization and to belong to the top-notch people in the world, you need different qualities than in the past. You don't need to be the best mathematical talent anymore. You need to learn how to learn. You need to actually embrace a culture of where you work in a team. Right? I actually hate the word of soft skills. It's not a matter of soft skills. It's a matter of working in a team, innovating together, and actually understanding what really matters for your customer. And that's why we together actually decided to bring, from my understanding, currently one of the best systems to Albania that helps actually to develop coders fast. Now, this is not a course you can do on a Saturday or on a weekend. This is unfortunately super hard work. This is 12 to 18 months, probably 70 hours a week. But it brings the best out of you. It creates full stack developers at the end that are capable of understanding data, that are capable of contributing in teams, and that have learned how to learn. Me and my team, we will bring this to Albania in January. We will have an amazing building. We will start here. But we will be part of an ecosystem. We'll do this together. And I think that is my own promise, actually, coming back to Albania, investing here. I truly believe we have an amazing future ahead of us if we embrace it. And we will have thousands of job opportunities, and then have a multiplicator effect for this country in all other areas that has been unseen. So thank you very much for having me today. I'm super happy to have further conversations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. It was a great presentation. It was great to close it with you. I hope you have enjoyed it. You can take a seat just for the closing words. I was really happy to be part of this forum today. I hope you got inspired by these great panelists. I would encourage you to stay agile, to follow your career, to get out of your comfort zone, to embrace technology, to embrace change, because you are the game changer of the future. So we're looking forward to see you next year in ThinkTech 2022. Stay tuned. Meanwhile, I invite you for a cocktail outside, and I would also like to thank Arion, Odeta, Landmark Communications and Technology for making me part of this forum, and I wish you a great afternoon. Thank you very much to all of you.